What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another post-game recap. As the Lakers continue more of the same disappointing loss, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked anymore. I kind of expected it, to be honest with you guys. I was holding out hope they played a good first half, but this is how it has been all season long because we don't have an identity again, no sense of direction. Why do the rotations change every freaking game, yo? Like, my man has Stanley Johnson, the hero of the last game, on the bench. Then he brings him in for a couple of minutes, but no Dwight Howard. The obvious combination there would have been Dwight, right? Stanley Johnson, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Malik Monk. That obvious combination to put us over the top. What happens? He brings the wrong combinations. No Dwight Howard. Get exploited. We get out rebounded by 10. We get outscored by 10 in the paint. And that was a difference in the game to me. No adjustments whatsoever. This coach is incapable of making the right adjustments. You see something work, the next game he changes it. Trevor Reeves is no longer a starter. Should have been Malik Monk or Austin Reeves. We get stagnant in the second half. We started off slow because of the starting lineup. Trevor Reeves is no longer starter material. A blind man can see this, but however, this man, Frank Vogel, refuses, and he continues to go with the small ball BS. All right, so you see the title. This ain't no clickbait. It's time to fire Frank Vogel. I think I think there should be somebody waiting for him at the locker room with his stuff all packed up. That way he doesn't have to bother the team anymore. And we need to move in a different direction. And also, he didn't make the adjustment. Carmelo Anthony was struggling. And what does he do? He leaves him out there. We got killed defensively and offensively because his shot wasn't falling at the end either. And defensively, he was getting scorched. Everybody was. Avery Bradley was getting scorched by Karis LeVert. I told you guys, watch out for them. They got sneaky guards. And this team just continues to be a big disappointment. The season, we are in basketball hell. The season of just losing. Guys, the season of win one, lose one. I told you guys, I'm not going to get too excited because we haven't showed it consistently enough. And I'm just fed up. My boy said, Kane's Garage, appreciate you, bro. He said, Lakers need to fire Vogel tonight. I absolutely agree. Somebody should already have his shit packed up in a suitcase from his office and hand it to him at the door and be like, deuces. They need to. It needs to be done ASAP. LeBron's last layup really pissed me off because, bro, you lost the game. You said you promised you'd be better. I don't want to see you laying it up and padding your stats at the end. That's just a fact, all right? Hate me if you want me. I love LeBron James. I think he was phenomenal, but that was uncalled for. Like, we don't need to be looking at you lay the ball up when we already lost the game. You know that. But Vogel needs to be fired ASAP, man. ASAP. All right. Russell Westbrook had a good first half, and then he tried playing hero ball in the second half. Didn't work out. Then everybody else started playing hero ball, Melo, and the rotations, the ball movement, what was working in the first half went away. No adjustments defensively by our coaching staff. We allowed Sabonis to kill us. All these second chance points and rebounds. Again, we went small, and I told you guys about going small versus certain teams. You can't do it versus Sabonis. He's going to kill you. And that's exactly what keeps happening. All right, this coaching staff is incapable of making the right adjustments. Every time Sabonis seen the court, Dwight should have been in. And yes, I know Dwight didn't have the best of games, but you got to match big for big, man. You can't allow – so Sabonis was having a field day. He got us in foul trouble just by banging down low. And then he was able to, space the floor. And the effort wasn't there in the second half like it was in the first half. All right, this team doesn't have an identity, and it will continue to not have an identity as long as Frank Vogel is the head coach. I don't care what nobody says. In my opinion, this is my opinion, I think we need to meet him at the door with his stuff and tell him, listen, man, good luck in your next job. But we're, respectfully letting you go. Appreciate everything you did. Shout out to you for the championship. But championships don't buy you a lifetime membership to Lakers head coaching job. It doesn't. You need to perform every single year. Last year, he wasn't good either. And this year, he's definitely not good. So I don't know who needs to hear it or whatnot, but he beyond wore out is welcome. And he needs to take his dreadful coaching staff with him as well. If not, nothing will be gained from this. Personally, I don't care who needs to be an interim head coach or whatever. But man, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the inconsistencies. One game we get one rotation, and the next game you get a different one. Right? Like I didn't understand why when they were making their run, if we were gonna go small, instead of having Carmelo at the 5, we should have had Stanley Johnson. We put him in for a little bit, and it was too little, too late. They had already gained all momentum. They had already gained the full momentum, and we had lost our momentum. And I'm really done just getting pissed off and ranting about this team, man. I'm at the point where I'm ready. I'm ready for change now. No more excuses. I don't want to hear no. I want to hear they're gonna wait till the end of the season. Somebody's head got to roll. Due to these losses, we lose to another team we're supposed to be beating. So, again, the trend continues, and this team continues without an identity. A lot of that is on the players, but a lot of that's also on the coaching staff. Again, Carmelo was stinking it up on both ends, defensively and offensively. He didn't have a good offensive game, and he even when he threw the ball at the extension, he cost us a 4-point play. Completely lost momentum from that point on. And coach never held anybody accountable. Like, I don't ever see the coach chewing them out. Like, Melo, you can't be making these plays. I get it. You got emotional, but we need every point we can get. We're struggling this season. Little things like that just switch momentum. They got a 4-point play because Melo played lazy defense. And on top of that, he threw the ball at like I said, at the extension in the back. So just disappointed overall, man. Disappointed overall. They show us one thing, one game, and then the next game they turn around and they just basically stab us in the back. Again, tell the two halves. First half, the effort was there. We're sharing the rock, doing all the little things. Second half, Dwight Howard doesn't even play much. And Melo's stinking it up, and he's allowed to stink it up. He even came back into the game. And then Russell Westbrook turned into his old self, his original OG self. He had a good half. Hero ball second half, and it just doesn't work. Even LeBron went hero ball. He stopped trusting his teammates. He was forcing the issue, wasn't getting the calls. We end up losing. Thanks, 123. I appreciate you. My boy said, I agree, fire Vogel, but don't really trust Fizdale. I absolutely appreciate you, Lakers. And listen, if we fire Vogel, we got to send his coaching staff with him. He handpicked those guys. So they're basically an extension of him. There's no point of even firing Frank Vogel. You're going to let Fizdale turn around and sign Isaiah Thomas to play him at center and continue this small ball bullshit. We can't have that anymore, guys. Like, isn't this weird to you guys? Like, we had a successful first half that included Dwight Howard, and in the second half, we play him for a little bit in the third quarter, and you exclude him completely in the fourth quarter. And then again, the hero of the last game, Stanley Johnson, wasn't really allowed to play in the fourth quarter. He should have started him in the fourth if he wasn't going to bring back Dwight at least. And his effort was there all night long. It is what it is, man. Listen, I'm fed up. My boy said, keep Phil Handy. Yeah, I don't really count him as a part of the coaching staff. I see him more as a player development part of the coaching staff. So I'm not talking about him when I mean the immediate coaching staff. I'm talking about Fizdale and guys like that. Because we saw when he came in for Frank Vogel, I don't know if this was because Frank was still on the team, calling the shots from the sidelines or from texting or whatever. But he played an even smaller lineup, and I was like, what the heck is this? This is when Fizdale's supposed to make his mark, and I was really not impressed with Fizdale. So Kevin Ollie would be dope, Matt. But isn't he with UConn or something like that? Yeah, this team is not going to cut it. We still need to trade. I told you guys, even when we were doing good, I still feel we need to trade, and we need a new coaching staff. Like, we need a haul quickly. We need to bring the U-Haul and stick all the coaches in there and just ship them out and bring in a brand new, bring in some fresh meat. Bring in some guys that are going to, stick to a rotation. For example, Stanley Johnson went off in the fourth quarter last game. Give him another opportunity, at least the majority part of the fourth quarter. Don't play him spare and then yank him out when he makes a mistake. It's like, come on now. Nate McMillan, I don't know about him. The Sabonis guy is pretty good. So is Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert cooked us. Let's be honest. Defensively, we gave up in that second half. And that's the problem. We don't hold players accountable. Melo was rewarded for just standing around. He looked like a stick out there tonight. Usually he gives more effort than this, but tonight was not his night on both ends of the floor. Which coach do you propose, Dan? I've been saying it for a while now. I want Avery Johnson to make his comeback and coach in the league. I feel like the little general will hold players accountable. I feel like he's going to chew their ears off till they start actually buying in defensively. And sometimes you need a preacher out there, man. Mark Jackson would be great, but for politic purposes, I don't think he gets the job. So I'm trying to think outside the box. Somebody said earlier, Jeff Van Gundy. I'd be completely fine with that. He's another he's another coach that holds players accountable. I mean, listen, anything going away from Frank Vogel is weird, suspect rotations with no consistency would just be a plus for me. Somebody said Becky Hammond. I think I think Becky Hammond just took a WNBA coaching job, so she won't be going anywhere anytime soon. He said fire Linda Rambis, Kurt Rambis, and Frank Vogel. Man, they can all go. They're a package deal. Just put them all, and ship them out. All of them. Terry Stotts, I wouldn't mind. Terry Stotts, I would not mind. He's not my first or second choice, but I wouldn't mind it. Honestly, it'd be an upgrade. But I still want a coach who can get really passionately into the game. I don't want a zombie on the sideline. I don't want somebody out there just looking like a mascot. No, we need somebody who's going to be able to get into these players' heads. Fire them up a little bit. Fire them up. It's okay to yell at them. It's okay. LeBron's never been coached by somebody he can respect. I'm telling you guys right now. If you don't know, if you're too young to know who Avery Johnson is, go ahead and look up film of him coaching the Dallas Mavericks. This man was a soul snatcher. When I talk about coaching, he was a coach, man. He put the fear of God in these kids. I mean, Devin Harris still has nightmares about the little general. Like, come on, man. We need somebody like that because these guys are just too nonchalant and they don't play consistently enough. Now, I'll give credit to the young guys. All right, THT was phenomenal tonight. Made me look good because of what I said about him on pregame. I stick by what I say always. Austin Reeves, the effort is always there, whether he's on offensively or not. Stanley Johnson, phenomenal. All right, the effort again and his defensive prowess, awesome. All right, I know I'm missing a couple players, but we need guys like that, and we need everybody to play on that level. All right, LeBron had an off night as far as effort goes. He gave a great effort offensively. First half, second half, not so much. And it becomes infectious, right? Melo started doing it, started getting lazy. Now LeBron all of a sudden started ball watching, and they weren't making the full rotations. We have to. We just need a coach. They have to buy in to the to have an identity. We have to buy into the system, and I don't think we have. I think coach lost the locker room a long time ago, honestly. Besides Vogel, Dan, this team is just badly constructed. Now, I do agree. We do need a trade, and we need somebody who's going to play traditional bigs. All right, I'm talking a starting big and a backup big because we can't be getting exploited when Dwight Howard goes to the bench. That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem for this team. Again, for those of you just tuning in, I'll read you the stats. All right, total rebounds. They had 48. We had 40. Okay, they had 14 offensive rebounds on us. Okay, they had 27 assists to our 23. They had 8 blocks to our 7. They had 6 steals to our 4. And they only had 12 turnovers. Points in the paint, the Pacers had 58, Lakers 48. How much did we lose by? Right? We lose by 7. So what does that tell you right there, man? We need to shore up the paint because, guys are coming in here and getting second chance points, out rebounding us, out hustling us. And yeah, some of that is on effort, but a lot of that is on going small ball. I told you guys, small ball is going to come back to bite us at times. Tonight was the night. Demonis Sabonis cooked us, man, with this small ball crap. All right. Even their guards were getting second chance points. We need a backup big. I've been saying it all season long. I've been seeing this in last year. Since last year, we were operating with one big. Coach didn't want to play Montrez as a backup 5, right? Or a backup 4. He either started him at the 5 where he was getting exploited or he wouldn't play him at all. So, again, coaching staff lacks basketball IQ. I don't know why. They're professionals, right? This shouldn't be that hard to make the proper rotations, but they do. They continue to make them, and it's costing us wins. These are crucial, valuable wins that might come back to bite us later on in the season. We might be in the play-in tournament the way we're looking right now. Win 1, lose 1. Win 3, lose 3. Win 4, lose 4. What is this, man? Give and take? I don't know, man. I don't know. He said, that's sad. Dwight and DeAndre used to beast. He said, Melo also didn't chase down the missed pass by AR either, Dan. You're right, Brian. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying is that Melo, his effort wasn't there tonight. I'm going to give him a pass because usually he gives a little bit more effort. He's coming off of an injury, so I'll give him a pass, but he still should have been benched. Nobody's being held accountable. I mean, he made tons of mistakes that costed us our lead, which is what has happened all season long. We get a lead. At one point, we were up 14 on this team, as we should be. And again, tale of two halves, man. It's always a cautionary tale. Can't get too high. I was happy at halftime, but I had a feeling, man. I was like, I hope they don't come out with the shitty third quarters. And that's exactly what they did. My boy said, fire Vogel, Flippers lose, Dan. Yeah, the Clippers are going to keep losing because they're injured. So it's not much of a celebration for me. I'm more focused on the Lakers. I mean, what good is it if we can't take advantage and gain ground in the Western Conference? We can't. We're just basically hovering a 500 team. We go one game below 500 now, and that's just my thing. This is why there needs to be an expectation, and it's like if you don't meet the standard here, should have been 5 to 10 games over 500 at least. To be honest with you, with the easy schedule we had early on, we don't meet the standard. They got to chop off Frank Vogel's head, and what I mean by that is fire him. Ned Stark style for those of you Game of Thrones fans. He needed a role season one. This already was season three of him making crucial mistakes. And let's be honest, even when we had Caruso, he was being misutilized because he should have started alongside LeBron. We saw that in the finals when we dominated them in that final game. But then the next season, he didn't even start him. He played in minimal minutes. So you see what I mean? He has the talent on his roster. He doesn't utilize it properly. We don't get momentum. We don't get to keep momentum because he waits till we go down 8 or 10 before he even calls a damn timeout to try to make adjustments. It's ridiculous. I don't understand his coaching philosophy. And how can you have benched Stanley Johnson, who had played a phenomenal game the previous game? How you have him on the bench like that? Like, I'll never understand it. Somebody, I know there's some Frank Vogel fans in here still. I don't know why, but still. Explain to me why you have the hero of the last game on the bench to start the fourth quarter, and then you still didn't have Dwight. It should have been either Dwight or Stanley Johnson if you're going to go small ball. And instead he went Melo, LeBron. LeBron looked gassed, by the way. There's only so much he can do. So, I'm sick of it, guys. I know you guys are as well. I mean, we can't get too high. We were happy about that Utah Jazz win, and then we turn around, we freaking drop it. We lay an egg versus the Pacers, the undermanned Pacers, who, by the way, didn't even have Miles Turner. Imagine what they would have did to us had they had Miles Turner and Sabonis versus our small ball BS. Just imagine that. That's food for thought for you guys who still defend Frank Vogel. But I hope to wake up for sure tomorrow to the news, and I will come on live with you guys and break it all down. I really do. I hope to wake up and hopefully the grass is green on the other side because we need a change, man. We need a change. There's only so much of this BS Laker Nation could take. There's only so much of the BS the front office should be able to take. He said, LeBron is old. Don't expect him to give you high energy the whole game. He's going to manage his energy and playing to give you 25 and 30 a game. He said, that's it. The rest carry their own weight. That's a fact, Aaron. I'm not expecting too much, but I will hold him accountable because that was a bullshit layup he hit at the end of the game. That shows me that this motherfucker's still trying to get stats when the game is over. Bro, you should be hanging your head because you promised LA more effort in that second half. It wasn't there. Not just by him, but by the whole team. So you got to keep your promises consistently, man. It's not just one game, and so I will hold him accountable tonight. But, I mean, I love LeBron. I love what he's doing. He's playing at an MVP level. He carried us that whole first half. And you're right. The team should step up. But still, I don't want to see them stat padding layups at the end of games, especially after he's already being criticized by everybody in social media for looking at the stat sheet when you're down. Bottom line is there's little things like that obviously irk me, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I mean, I still love what LeBron's doing. Very thankful for his talent, and I feel like you're right. We do need to make a trade to get him some more help because some of these guys are just lacking, man. He said, "I love the Lakers team, but it's not winning. They are not playing." Oh yeah, well you're right. They're not playing for each other either, and that's the problem, man. That's the problem with this team is that when we play team ball and we trust each other, you see the way the Rock moves, finds the open man, and 9 times out of 10, he said, he said, what? So you mean all are at fault except LeBron? I didn't say that. No, don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I said I'm going to hold him accountable tonight. I didn't like the way we came out in the second half. But he does make a good point. LeBron is old as shit, man. He's 37. He's still the best player on our team. Shouldn't happen. It should have been AD. And after that, it should have been Westbrook. Guys with less mileage on their body because they haven't been to the playoffs as often as LeBron. Those guys should be carrying, to be honest with you. But it's still LeBron carrying. And so there's only so much you can expect from him. I do understand that point. However, again, you make a promise. You got to keep it consistently. That's the bottom line. And then that layup at the end was a bad look. I don't like that. I don't like that layup. LA is all about wins, not about stats. That's all I got to say about that. My boy said, media talking AD will make a difference. What do you think? To be determined, because if we still have this coaching staff, I don't think a lot of things can make a difference. And I still feel like we're a wing or two away from being more elite, especially if we're going to buy into this bullshit small ball, crap, man. And I don't understand. I don't understand this. Okay, this is what I don't understand. People say the front office did a horrible job of building a team that's patterned around Frank Vogel's style. What the fuck is Frank Vogel's style? Can somebody answer me that? What is he running? The Princeton offense? Damn sure not running the triangle. What the fuck is he running? Because every night we get something different. All right, it's like a buffet. There's a variety of lineups and different rotations, and every night is a different look. Every night, different players are finishing the fourth quarter. We're not sticking to nothing. How can you expect consistency from players when you don't get that shit from the coaching staff? It starts at the top. It starts at the top, man. So that's all I gotta say to the apologists. It's like, listen, you're talking about Frank Vogel doesn't have the personnel. What the fuck? What you got? LeBron James, you got Anthony Davis, you got Avery Bradley, defensive minded. You got Stanley Johnson, not defensive minded, which he's not using properly because he's starting Trevor Ariza, who's a half step too slow now at this point of his career over Stanley. Right? You got Austin Reeves, who's actually a two-way player, who's not using him enough, in my opinion. You got Malik Monk, a bucket, insta bucket, and when you struggle, now you've benched him all of a sudden. It's like, okay, so what do these pundits have to say now, man? Who's defending Frank Vogel at this point? If you're gonna defend Frank Vogel, at least make a good statement right now in the comments. I don't want to hear, oh, is all the front office fault? Oh, it's LeBron's fault because he wanted Westbrook. I want to hear that. The coach at the end of the day controls the rotations, the offensive and defensive schemes. And if guys aren't buying in, then you're not doing your job properly, right? It's like if you're a quarterback in the NFL. If your teammates don't like you, they don't listen to you, they don't run your routes, then you're not a good quarterback, no matter how much arm strength and IQ you have. You also have to be a leader. And Frank Vogel's not a good leader. That's why I keep saying this, man. I keep saying this all season long, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Frank Vogel has disappointed me for the last couple of seasons. He continues to disappoint me now. And there's yes, the team is not good enough. We need to make a trade. But man, like Frank Vogel needs to be the first one flipped out of here. That's a fact, And check this out. Here's a quote from Frank Vogel, who says this loss is on everybody. Okay, we got to coach better and players got to play better. Tell me something I don't know, Frank. If you're saying we got to coach better 40 plus games into the season, you're a sub 500 team, bruh. No. Like, Frank, you shouldn't be saying a word, but we're gonna be better. That's it. I don't want to hear we got to coach better. We know that. It's common sense. But I just got the notification right now. It infuriates me, guys. Honestly, like I hate being made a fool of, and I'm telling you, this coaching staff has no game plan. That's all they say. We got to coach better. Come on, guys. I would step down if I was him and save a little bit of face. It looks better on you. Everybody's saying get the notifications ready today for tomorrow because the Lakers are about to fire Frank Vogel. I mean, I hope so. To be honest, man. I hope so. I'm done. No more excuses. Somebody's got to. There has to be the first pin has to drop. First pin has to drop, guys. And check this out. More quote on Frank Vogel. Check this out. Frank Vogel on his decision to sub out Russell Westbrook for the final 4 minutes of the game, playing the guys that I thought were going to win the game. No Dwight Howard. No Stanley Johnson the final 4 minutes. Think about that. Like, just let that sink in. These are quotes from our leader. I'm over it, man. I'm over it, guys. This is I'm like at a loss of words. I think I've said enough. I'm gonna let y'all take it away in the comment section. Somebody said rip Joe Rogan? No way. Bro, that's crazy if that just happened. For reals? I think you guys are lying because that would have been all over my time feed. Did Joe Rogan really just pass? That would be sad, guys. Not true. See the trolls, man. The trolls really trying to make me shed a tear on the live stream. Come on, somebody. He said, nope, can't defend Frank. He said, notice how Melo coming off a back injury and he plays too many minutes, and Dwight, 1 rebound shy of the 10th all-time, never plays again. He said, I think Vogel knew. Listen, I don't know. There's no more explanations, man. There's no more explanations to Frank Vogel. I don't think anybody could defend him at this point. Like you really, you really got to be the ultra apologist if you're defending Frank after this loss. This is another crappy loss added to the collection. Just this is all it is. All season long we've been losing. You know, all season long we've been losing, man, to teams we shouldn't be losing to. And check this out. Kent Bazemore started for what, over 10 games, and he's been probably the worst player uh, of this team, and he started 10 games. And yes, Stanley Johnson, somebody who gives maximum effort and was part of our 4-game winning streak, doesn't even get starter minutes anymore. I mean, Trevor Ariza gets the minutes over him, and we clearly see who's making the bigger impact, right? I mean, Stanley Johnson gets subbed in the third quarter. First thing he does, he makes a pass to Avery Bradley for a wide open layup on the move. Trevor Ariza can't even pump fake and get open anymore. I mean, my man looks like a newborn. He can't walk. Like, he's old. He's too old now, man. I love Trevor, but I think he's nothing more than a bench player at this point of his career, man. And this coaching staff actually thought that Trevor would come in here and be a difference maker. I still remember when we had all three of them, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron, and we're still losing games. Coaching staff saying, well, we're not complete yet. Front office saying we're going to evaluate this team when it's complete. It's like, this is as complete as you're probably going to get. You know what I mean? We need to start over. David Williams is absolutely right. Clean slate. We're going to fire the coaching staff, make a couple of trades, and everything needs to happen to change this up, man, because this is this team, it has a horrible stench of inconsistency, stat padding, individual play, and ISO. You know, they're in love with the ISO ball style, man. I don't like that. He said Vogel playing small ball, the D'Antoni Rockets lineup. And you know what? When we hired Frank Vogel, he wasn't even doing that. I don't understand when or whose basketball analytics told him that was a good idea. But if you can't think for yourself, like, we won the championship with Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis starting at center and power forward, respectively, for the final couple of games in the series. That's your recipe for success. Why do you go away from that? Appreciate you, Jose. Why do you go away from that, man? You know, like if something's working for you, all of a sudden you're going to do a 360. You're going to run LeBron at the center, and you're going to run, you know, it's just, I'll never understand it, man. I think I'm fed up, man. He said, need a real power forward center and trade for a real shooter. We need to do something, brother, because we can't sit on our hands. We continue to sit on our hands, we're going to get the same results. We're going to win 2 to 3 games. We're going to lose 3 to 4, which means we're going nowhere fast. You know? Why do we go away from what's working? Why, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You say, you all ignore the obvious. JaVale McGee was perfect center for this team, except for the playoffs. And that's what we're not ignoring. He was trash in the playoffs, but for regular season, he was good. In the playoffs, he was like paperweight thin, man. He was flopping all over the place like a fish. I don't know if you saw that part of the season, but listen, JaVale McGee would have been fine for the regular season. Come playoffs, he was getting exploited, man. And that's why he got traded, and I wasn't mad about it, but we should have got a replacement. Somebody who could actually be good in the playoffs. JaVale McGee was not good in the playoffs. If you actually saw the whole thing, he was unplayable at one point. And he didn't play. He didn't play the last 2 to 3 series, man. And so I'm not going to cry about JaVale McGee because I know exactly who he is. He's a nice little rim protector, nice little lob threat. But then, you know, he has asthma and he can't play more than 15 to 20 minutes. And then, again, in the playoffs, nothing, man. Paperweight thin. He was getting exploited. You know, that's how I feel about JaVale. I don't know if we were watching the same series, but, yeah, JaVale was not good in the playoffs. So I definitely don't miss him. But we should have got another actual replacement. We've struggled to find a replacement. JaVale was great during the regular season. I'll give him that. He said McGee is amazing with the Suns. He won't be in the playoffs. I promise you that. He was amazing for chemistry. That whole team, man. Even Jared Dudley. People don't want to give him credit, but Jared Dudley was in here taking charges, and the whole coaching staff and players were celebrating like it was a poster dunk. This is how you know Jared Dudley was good for chemistry. But forget about chemistry. Right now, we're struggling to even put in the right rotations. Right now, it's all about skill set. That's what bothers me. All right, this team's skill set is good, but it's not great because they don't complement each other, right? Russell Westbrook hit a couple of threes in the first half. Second half, he came out playing hero ball. Didn't work out, man. You know, my boy said, I don't know about y'all, but I'm giving Rob Pelinka one more season. Oh man, look, I believe in Rob still. I might give him a little more than one season, but he needs to fire. It needs to start now. You know, they need to fire him, man. He's not putting out the results. When you come and you coach for the Lakers, you got to know you're always in the hot seat. This isn't a okay. You helped win one championship, so now you got a lifetime membership. No, it's been 2 seasons since, and these last 2 seasons have been atrocious. We got eliminated prematurely. You can chalk it up to injuries or whatever, but even before the injuries, we were struggling to win consistently, like we did our championship year, and the rotations were still a question mark. And fast forward to this season, he had 3 superstars available, still losing games. So it's always going to be excuses. I'm tired of excuses. I need to see results. Okay. Tomorrow morning, I'm expecting to hear breaking news: the Lakers have fired Coach Frank Vogel, and he packed up his whole coaching staff and took them with him. Like, that's what I'm expecting to hear. Anything less than that, I'll be highly disappointed, and I'll really start losing hope for this season, man. Because this coach and coaching staff ain't gonna cut it. And then after that, shortly after, the next couple of days, better hear the Lakers are, in heavy pursuit of the right pieces. We need to pursue the right pieces, period. Moving forward, I head over to the comment section, see what y'all got to say, but I'm pretty much set in stone with my train of thought. I'm way over the hill on this guy. Fizdale got to go too. Yep. I agree, Jason. Vogel is a clown. And this is a Piston fan saying that. That's how you know. He said, fire Vogel and get who? You know what, Link? I don't even give a shit who we get. Just get somebody who can, have the player's ear and has a consistent rotation. And keyword consistent, that means for the majority of the season, we know exactly what to expect from the rotation. That's it. That's it. It's not I hate that question. Oh, who should we get? Any fucking body who can coach that has half a brain that Frank Vogel has right now. Like, it's not going to be hard to upgrade from where we're at right now. I'll tell you this. People say Mark Jackson. I really wish. I've always liked Mark Jackson since he was in Golden State. I think he's truly somebody who players respect. However, again, politics, man. Politics. What's up, King Jess? Nothing, man. Just out here, venting and So Dan can Phil handy coach? I have no clue, Victor. I'm willing to give him a shot because I feel like the players respect him, but at the same time, his whole career he has been a player development coach. So usually they don't make that transition over. Sometimes they do, but usually they don't. So maybe he's comfortable doing what he's doing, working with the younger players and with some veterans trying to change up some things. That's most likely what he's going to do, But I still believe that there's going to be plenty of options out there, man. It's not about. Come on, man. Like, if you're a head coach and you're afraid to inherit LeBron James and Anthony Davis, then you probably shouldn't coach in the NBA. I get the Russell Westbrook caution symbol part, but the other 2 superstars, it shouldn't be. Listen, if I was the coach of the Lakers, which I'll never be, but if I was the coach, I'm running hella pick and rolls between AD and LeBron. Pick your poison. And then what's going to happen is if AD catches it on the roll and they didn't send the double, the double down, I'm gonna let AD finish at the rim. Let's send a double. You gotta have shooters in the corners, man. It's really simple. It's not hard to run an offense, especially when you got LeBron James and AD. Both of those guys can get you buckets, right? I'm the coach of the Lakers. I'm benching Westbrook, and I'm using him as a primary off the bench. He'd be my secret weapon. And there he can make more mistakes off the bench because you're going up against second units now. And so you'll be able to exploit him with your change of pace, attack the rim, and just play your game. Heck, I'd give him the green light. If he wants to shoot a couple threes, that's fine. Off the bench, 25 to 30 minutes max. That's what I would do, man, if I was coaching the team. And then, the starters are going to look a lot different. I'm running LeBron at the point. I don't give a fuck. Nobody says. LeBron James at the point. He's a point guard, man. LeBron James is still the best point guard in the league, and he's not even running at his true position. Instead of running him at center, I'm running Dwight at center. I'm running AD at the 4. I'm running, pick your poison between Malik Monk or, whatever wing we have. If we have Harrison Barnes, perfect. If we don't, you got to pick somebody. Austin Reeves at the 3, maybe Malik Monk at the 2, and LeBron at the 1. Every time I'm letting LeBron handle that rock, and then you let AD go to work from the post. Got to be parking down low in the post. Try to get some good inside basketball position. I'm going to coach these guys old school, man. I'm going to play to your advantages. It's not hard, guys. It's not hard. It's really not hard. Like, coaches making all the combinations except the right ones. Can you imagine a starting lineup that has both Austin Reeves and Malik Monk with LeBron James running the point guard, AD at the 4, his natural position, and Dwight at the 5? You got a little bit of everything. You got some playmaking, some shooting, some perimeter defense, and one of the goats at the point guard. Come on, man. Why hasn't this been attempted? Why? I don't know. They want to try different stuff except the stuff that should work. I don't know, man. I'm so tired of this. I know you guys are as well. Let's see what happens. If nothing happens tomorrow, I might make a video just to blow off some more steam, because then I'm gonna tell you this. If nothing happens tomorrow, I'm giving up on this season. Like, I'm dead serious. Unless they turn around and make a great trade after tomorrow, this coaching staff ain't it, man. I'm not even sure if we get the right pieces, they're going to use them properly. That's what I'm thinking. So, give me a real coach, somebody who's not afraid to hold players accountable, somebody who actually has a plan. Somebody who give me somebody who's going to come out here and hold players accountable. That's it. I'm not asking for too much. And it's not afraid to actually use their pieces to their advantage. Like, good luck stopping LeBron at point. You know what I mean? Like, let Anthony Davis run his 4. He likes to run the 4. Let him run the 4. Let Dwight Howard do the dirty work inside. He gives you second chance points and lob dunks. You say, hey, man, I missed the game. Do you mind giving a brief recap? I'd rather hear from you. Appreciate you, man. And thanks for the donation. I got you, my guy. Listen, brief recap. First half, we looked great. Defensive effort was there. LeBron James had 18 points at the half. Russell Westbrook actually smacked 3 3-pointers. And, they were taking care of the basketball. At one point, we went up 14 points. And then we lost the lead right at the half per usual. Lakers making the dumb rotations, the wrong place. We got selfish there at the end of the half. We go up 6 points at the half. Second half, you know the story. We come out looking anemic as hell. We give up a bucket to start the second half right away. I never liked the starting lineup, and it didn't work in the third quarter. We got off to a very slow start. And then, going into the fourth, we lost the lead. And we never regained it back, man. We never regained the lead back. And the rest was history. Karis LeVert put them on top. And Carmelo Anthony stunk it up. He was allowed to stay there and stink it up per usual. The coaching staff doesn't make any adjustments. They're not riding with the hot hand. Stanley Johnson only saw but like 3 to 4 minutes in the fourth. And we lost the game. So it's tough, man. And now we're talking fire the coach, which I feel like we've done way too much of this topic of conversation. We beat the dead horse, put the car in reverse, ran his ass over, and now we put it on drive again. The guts all over the damn freeway. That's how it's been with this topic of conversation, and I'm sick of talking about it. I want to see action now. Like I said, Lakers don't fire Frank Vogel by tomorrow, I'm really starting to question our front office. I'm really thinking they're playing games, and they're just biding time, rooting for Frank Vogel. Hopefully when AD comes back, they prove everybody wrong. That's not going to cut it for the rest of the season, man. That's not going to cut it for the rest of the season. It's my pleasure, brother. It's my pleasure to break it down. And thanks for the donation. Thank you. He said, PG, LeBron, shooting guard, Monk, small forward, Stan, power forward, AD, center, Dwight. I love it, Blink. Now you're thinking along my lines. I love that because, see, that's a combination of defense and offense. You get the offense from LeBron, AD, and Malik, and you get the defense from Dwight, Stanley Johnson, and LeBron and everybody else, and AD. So, yeah, these are logical starting lineups, right, where you try to balance offense and defense. However, when you have a coach and a coaching staff like Frank Vogel's, you're going to go with all defense, no offense, and that's also going to kill us because, yeah, we did a good job. We held Indiana to 50 points at the half, but we also went stagnant, and that's part of the problem. You have to have a mix. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't go fully one direction and then, get exploited on the offensive end because eventually, guess what's going to happen? The opposition eventually, no matter how good your defense is, when you have talented players like Karis LeVert, it's only a matter of time before they get hot. And then it's a wrap because you couldn't get hot, right? It's a game of runs, and they made the final runs. So, again, and we never adjusted. Melo was off tonight, and defensively, he was just a huge liability. My boy said AD needs to be told to stop jacking up threes and play in the paint. AD needs to lose weight. once he loses weight, I think it's even going to impact his jump shot because he can shoot threes. Career wise, what is he, like a 35% 3-point shooter, something like that, 34? That's pretty good for a big man. But this season, he's having a nightmare of a shooting season, even from mid range. I think a lot of that is his weight, man. Them titties holding him back. And he needs to lose that weight and just go back to being the mobile, because that, the mobile version of AD, that's where his advantage is. He's a 7-footer who sometimes plays like a wing or a guard. And he can't do that if he's looking like Jokic, right? Only Jokic plays like Jokic. He got married and got scary. I can't even, I've made jokes about that. I can't even, honestly, there's no excuses. You're a professional athlete, married or not, you got to stay in tip-top shape, That's your job. I mean, you hire professional chefs, you have these trainers, that put you on the regimens, and shouldn't be that hard. Man, if I was a professional athlete, I'd be looking like Schwarzenegger right now. I promise you. With all these chefs and all these routines and all these professionals around you, come on, man, it's not that hard. It's a matter of giving a damn. That's all. And if AD doesn't give a damn, let us know so we can get the best trade package for you. But if he gives a damn, as I suspect he does, he should lose the weight and come back looking better. Hopefully that's the case. But that's still not going to save us, man. We still a couple of pieces away. And let's just hope for trades, man. But let's see if they got the guts to make that rumor a reality and they fire Frank Vogel. Because if I wake up tomorrow night, I hear Frank Vogel just got fired, my ears are just they're gonna chime, man. I'm gonna be so happy. I'm gonna look like Dumbo. My shit's gonna start flying away. Like, I need that. I need some good news this basketball season, because there hasn't been many of it for us Laker fans, right? We don't even look like we're in the conversation for contender right now, to be honest. To keep it $150 with you guys, per usual. Any final questions before I get off, though? My boy said Kobe Bryant literally is and was the Lakers standard. Exactly. Blink Beats knows what's up, man. You've been around. We have a gold standard. Some player fans can't take it, and so they got to get out the kitchen, because I'm a cook in here, right? So you either got to get with the program or get lost, because we're not gonna lower our standards for your favorite players. It doesn't work that way. We're always gonna love LeBron. I always have love for AD because I love what they did in the bubble. Brought us championship number 17. Russell Westbrook, on the other hand, I can't get behind him because he's so inconsistent. Once he shows me inconsistency and actually contributes to the chip, then I will fully get behind him. But other than that, man, everybody should be movable outside of LeBron and AD. And if AD no longer wants to be a Laker, then he becomes movable as well. But I need to see that passion. I need to see that hunger, that want for another chip. I need to see that from AD. Haven't seen it this far. I don't know what the problem is, but I need to see it when he comes back. And I'm sure he's going to show it to us at some point. I just hope it's not too late. Lakers have no assets to trade. That's what I've been hearing, but if everything you hear was true, I mean, you didn't see THT had, what do you have today, 18 points off the bench? He looked phenomenal. I think a lot of teams would covet Taylor Horton-Tucker. If I was a GM of another team, there was a 21-year-old oozing and dripping with potential, these GMs don't go on Twitter. They're not going to get swayed by the knee-jerk reactors and the fair weather fans. They're out here looking at the bigger picture. They're all out here looking, Julius Randle went here and he shined. Jordan Clarkson went there and he shined. D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram. This could be the next kid. They're great at scouting. Might as well take a flyer on him. He's only 21. He has an affordable contract. What is it, $9 million? Very affordable contract, man. It's a little bit over the mid-level exception, And so when you see a player like that, I don't believe we don't have assets, because who wouldn't? Who would not want Taylor Horton-Tucker? Some people would even take a chance on Kendrick Nunn, because he's in an affordable contract, maybe a contender. We also have a first-round pick to trade. I mean, you don't think teams are salivating over a young talent like Austin Reeves? I'm saying we have the talent. Hope we don't give it all away in one stroke. But what I do want is I want the Lakers to be smart. If we're going to make a trade, has to be one that pushes us over the top and actually makes us a real contender. It can't be some little, pansy bullshit. We end up with like Terrence Ross or Eric Gordon. I'm good on that. I'm not mortgaging my future for no damn Eric Gordon, no Humpty Dumpty over here, man. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. No disrespect. I like his shooting. He's a solid defender, but at his age, I'm not trying to get a has-been on this roster and give somebody a future to their roster. I'm good on that. I want a real trade for a real hooper who can come slide right in. And I want it to look like when we acquired Pau Gasol. It just looks seamless and effortless the way they were always meant to be Lakers. That's what we need. And we need somebody who's not afraid of the limelight. Because if we get another one of these losers that comes in here and they're scared to shoot, it's going to suck, right? It's going to suck. So let's hope for the best, man. Let's hope for the best moving forward, guys. I really pray to God that, again, I don't like to pray for nobody to lose their job, but Frank will find a job elsewhere, okay? I'm not worried about him. If Luke Walton can get a job after the atrocious job he did with the Lakers, Frank will definitely find a job somewhere, especially he's 2 years removed from a championship. He'll find a job. So he's not for this city. I wish him and his family the best. Nothing but love and respect. But it's time to move on. It's time to move in a different direction and to give this team a little facelift. All right, that's all I got to say about that tonight. Very bummed out that we lost tonight again. Square one, below 500 team again, and this is not just going to cut it. So we need changes now. Who do you think will give our Lakers a trade? You know what, Jennifer? It could be somebody we're not even talking about. Usually the trade rumors that people talk about rarely come to fruition. Sometimes they do, but they rarely do. Sometimes it's the ones we're not talking about. It could end up being somebody from Orlando. It could end up being somebody from Toronto. I mean, wherever there's talent and they need moves, could be there. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight, man. All the support. Make sure you guys smash that like button on the way out. You guys know I'm gonna keep my ear, close to the ground. Anything happens, you know where to find me, either here or Twitter, and I will be breaking the news hopefully real soon, man, because we need change. Laker Nation, we need change. Hopefully Stephen A's words become a reality, and there is change because these losses are no longer acceptable. And my hopes are basically crashing and burning, man. We need somebody to say we need a hero. All right, we need, whether it be via new coaching staff or new players or the combination. I would love the combination. Let's hope for the best moving forward. All right, Laker Nation, you guys know what it is. It's always Lakers first. I'll catch you guys later, man. Have a great night. Love y'all.